No, the mic is not muted. It's Thursday. You don't know jack about sports. And my title tonight was apropos. I was actually looking, I'm like, what am I going to wear? And I came to this top. So I took my top that I was wearing from work, took that off. And I was like, well, maybe I'll wear that, the Raiders baseball that I was wearing on Super Bowl. I'm like, no, I'm going to save that for tomorrow because it's Jersey Day where I work. And, it's nice. And so if Hollywood is watching, tomorrow I'll be wearing our Twinsy shirts. But it's so, I don't want to say blah. Blah's not the right word. Blah's not the right word. But it's that letdown. It's the letdown when. And how many months is it? August, September, October, November, December, January. It seems like it's longer than 6 months because again, you have the draft, you have the off season, free agency period. I'll be going to the draft in Kansas City. That's in the end of April, and that's what February. So it's really only in 2 months when the season really starts again. But it really is just one of those things where, yeah, it goes on and on and on, but not really, because what are we going to be talking about? We don't have to talk about number 4 anymore, really, and thank God for that. Because whether you talk positively or negatively, it doesn't matter anymore. It really doesn't. What matters is that, and they had this really snide, I can't remember who was it. Was it Josh Dubrow? I think that was the guy. He goes, well, Carson Wentz got this, and Jimmy Garoppolo got that. And actually, he said Carson Wentz twice because he was traded twice. And what it was the net. And there was another quarterback on there. Well, that was what they got. They got like a 1 and a 2 or a 2 and a 3. But the Raiders didn't get crap for number 4. And I think I'm going to start calling them number 4. Because I really don't want to talk about him anymore. Remember how I would say the Raider who wore number 52 and will possibly be in the Hall of Fame years from now is 50 who? And he plays for the San Diego / Los Angeles Garglers. But it was bye-bye. So number 4 is gone, bye-bye. It's like the old Saturday Night Live with David Spade. Been fun. Did you like your flight? Bye-bye. 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 We don't have a quarterback, but you know what? Bye-bye. We got Chase Garbers as our quarterback. Bye-bye. Let me go through some of the comments, and I appreciate you being here. Bozilla is in the house. Bozilla, at least I know who you are. I think I know Bozilla. Bozilla, please come over to YouTube. Come over to YouTube. If you are watching on Twitter, I can't see crap on Twitter. Can't see crap on Twitter. Come over to YouTube. And thanks, Bo, for being here. John Leon. And John, I want to say thank you for your super the other night. Wow, that was $20. I wanted to make sure that I showed it. And I don't know whether you got the answer you got or not. And by the way, I was incorrect. Ref Guru was not a back judge. He was a field judge. But he's one of those guys in the back. And I don't know if you've been seen a lot of our shows, but it's all about view. And we get on the officials, and rightly so, for what we see in pictures. Says looking at it so friggin' obvious, but it's their view at the time. It's their view at the time. And we were so right. And John, you were also so right when you brought up in the Bengals game against Kansas City that the official was come running out onto the field and they got an extra play back and it cost them, right? And that pissed me off too. But there is this thing, and ref was telling me that the field is like an arc. Okay, and I understand this because I'm a sailor, and there's only so much of the horizon that you can see when you're on a ship because there's a curvature of the earth. There's a curvature in the field. So if you're on one sideline and there was the view of the official is on the one sideline that would be looking diagonally and would be able to see the official in theory, but there's the curvature of the field, so he didn't actually see him in time. And they blew the play, and the Chiefs win, and the rest is history. But yeah, it sucks. And I don't know if you got a chance to see Wild Wild West yesterday, but yeah, I was pissed. I came on because I wanted to talk about the crappy officiating. It was one-sided. Devontae Smith should have had a catch, and the Eagles only got 3 at the end of the first half when they might have gotten 6 plus 1. Although you can never infer an extra point. You don't know. Especially with all that frickin' paint on the field. Don't know. But John, thank you for the super. I will remember every $5 that you spend gets you an entry into the treasure chest of prizes. And eventually I will, when I have time, and I'm not going to all these things, but I do things I have to do. And I'm going to be honest, okay? I got to do my friggin' taxes, or at least get my taxes ready to throw to the Latinas that I do my taxes. I got to get all that crap together and push it to them, okay? I got to divest myself of a family situation. That's all I'm going to say. And I got to get that ready, okay? Eventually, I'm going to go up to Pennsylvania and go to a game. That's going to be on a weekend to be determined. I also want to go up on a weekend, maybe a long weekend. Actually, this weekend would have been great because we don't have, and I was thinking, and I didn't even ask Hollywood. I could have went up tonight because we're off on Monday. Happy President's Day. And then when we don't have a holiday until like what? Okay, it's February, March. We don't have a holiday till May. Maybe it'd be too late. But again, Hollywood, if you're watching, maybe I should have driven. That's the proper verb. But I'll do that. But John Leon, thank you for your super. Unknown Raider guy. Yeah, sorry, was at work. Question yesterday: do you think the Raiders could trade up with Arizona number 3 to get C.J. Stroud? Could they? Could they? Yes. Because Bryce, what's his nose? Bryce, whatever, is going to go number 1. Maybe C.J. Stroud goes number 1. Because I think Bryce from Alabama is going to get broken like a toothpick. But he's the conjectured number 1. But we haven't had pro days yet. We haven't had the combine yet. We haven't had the brain analysis crap yet. So we'll see. Could we go up to number 3? Is it a possibility? It's a possibility, but I've been told by my sources that are in the Raiders locker room that the Raiders are not going to trade up from 7. I could be wrong and they could be wrong. I'm just here and telling you what I heard. Brady was the answer and it didn't happen. They are not going to trade up to number whatever, trade up in the draft for quarterback, and they're going to sit back and they're going to try to get Tanner McKee. That's what I heard. What I hear. We'll see. Could they trade up? Yeah. Could we be surprised? Yeah, we'll see what the combine and stuff says. Robert Pena, permission to board. You got it there, shipmate. And unknown Raider guy, again, respect to you. And thank you for that. And I appreciate you watching and listening. Jimmy Farrell's in the house. They did save $40 million. What do you think about trading a second for Justin Fields? I'm not a big fan. And this is the other thing. And I have a bias. I have a bias against Ohio State quarterbacks. But I admit it, it's a bias. C.J. Stroud is an Ohio State quarterback. Justin Fields is an Ohio State quarterback. I can't remember the last, and I think somebody was saying, I said, name me a really good Ohio State quarterback. And they named it, and I was like, yeah, I guess. But they don't really make quarterbacks. Neither does University of Florida. They don't. Bias. Could we trade up? Maybe trade a second for Justin Fields? Anything's possible. Bozilla, thank you, sir. Giants Chronicles podcast, that is Gabe. Gabe, I apologize because I haven't looked up whether it's you or Darren that wins the gift certificate. I will do that. But I do know that Country is going to get the prize for the first score from the Super Bowl. I know two things I'm going to give. I'm going to give him a what do we call it? A program from Oakland, and I'm going to give him a program from the Cardinals-Raiders game from a couple years ago, and I'm going to get him something else. So, Country, if you're watching, you're going to get that at least, and then I'm going to give you something else and something else. And, point. I got to look up to see if you or Darren get the gift certificate because you guys picked the Chiefs. And maybe one or other, and see who has it. But I will do that. I promise. I just got to get time. And the other thing is I when you were doing your podcast today, I appreciated the shout out. I just popped it on from work. I was driving, and you said, "Hey, put your eyes on the road," and I did. But I was listening to it. But thank you for the shout out. I appreciate that. Jack Kenna's in the house as well. Salute to you. Raider Nation Network. Thank you for being here. Salute to you. Appreciate. Captain, if you're the GM, what are you doing at quarterback? I've said this for a while. Nobody wants to hear it, Jack. I say re-sign Jarrett Stidham, get Jacoby Brissett for a year. Live and breathe and die. You don't put a lot of assets into Stidham and Brissett. That's what I would do. Will the Raiders do that? No, maybe. We don't know. But they're going to find. It's going to be cool. That's one thing we are going to talk about in the offseason. What did they finally do? The world said Hurts and Tua would be broken too. Okay, Hurts is bigger though. Tua is broken, and the fact that he's still playing, he won't be playing much longer. Jimmy Farrell, thank you. Should draft a quarterback in the second round. Tanner McKee. Justin Fields, not that good. Thank you. That's what I agree with. The last real good Ohio State quarterback, pause, none I can remember. Thank you. I was going Art Schlichter, the gambler. That was, what, a decade ago. I mean, I was still young when Art Schlichter was the quarterback. Thrash is in the house. Good to see you, Thrash. It's been a while. What about me picking Hurts to score first? Jay, you did, but Country had it before you, and I said the first person with the correct answer. You did pick it, but Country picked it first, and that's the only reason why. But I tell you what, Jay, I will send you an extra program of the Raiders Cardinals program thing because Country's going to get that plus a Oakland program. So I'll send that, or I'll save it for you. Remind me when I will see you, so I will give it to you. Because I have the best intentions. Or you come down here to my house and pick it up. The new truck is great. It's great. I have over 300 miles on it. I'm breaking it in slow. Throw this out there. Raider Bears on YouTube. I'd love to see you guys do a show. Love both your shows. Have great football knowledge. I'd love to do a show with Raider Bear. And if you see him and let him, I do a show. He can come on my show and come on his show. We can do a show together. It'd be fantastic, and we can multipass. Make a splash like Moby Dick. Okay, I don't know what that was from, but I'm trying to splash out. I agree with you. Take on the quarterback issue with that. Do you remember what I said? I'm trading for next year. Yes, trade our number one to some schmuck team that we think is going to be in the top for Caleb Williams. Basically, suck for Williams, right? Could be doing that. Did I miss the link? No, I didn't put it out yet. And good to see Sheree. We got a new owner in Lex Luthor. Oh, we got. Well, if Lex Luthor is our owner, that'd be cool. Nation, McDumdum, I love the names, needs to prove he's even capable of coaching a good quarterback as a head coach. His record of destroying quarterbacks is vast. Not really. He destroyed Denver in 2 years, but he hasn't destroyed a quarterback. He didn't destroy Carr. Oops, I said his name. Didn't help him though either, but he didn't really destroy him. I'm crying. Oh, okay. Yeah, remind me, honey, because I'll get you to. I got a boatload of them over there. Good to see you, Sharif Saala Khan, aka Black Thanos, Jack Cannon. Thank you for like, share, share. Just share this up. You get a good crowd. They looking at Taylor from the Commanders. Is that the same Taylor that was the quarterback for the Chargers before he got injured? Bald Mark is better than Mo Mark. So, yeah, he went from Mo to Curly, right? Thank you for being here, man. Check out my Derek Carr appreciation roast. Send me the link, Sharif. I will. Again, when I have time. And I'm sure it was well done and tasteful. Willie Wayne's here. Salute to you. Thank you. Wasn't Bald Mark a fake? No, I saw a picture. I don't know. I don't know whether it is or not. Raider, no, I'm not mad at you. No. Me, Jack, or other Jack. I'm not mad. Please, I'm not mad. Thank you, Raider Nation Network. I'm not mad. Marky did shave his head according to one. Like, Cap, you remember 100% still feel that way. Cap, you remember 100%. Yeah, okay, yeah. You for Caleb, suck from Wayne. Still waiting for my Caleb Williams jersey from Ed. What do you think about us signing Deron Payne? You think he's too? I think he's going to be a lot of money. I think he's. I think that he would be worth it. I'd actually would if they can get Hargraves from the Eagles. I know he didn't really have a good Super Bowl, but I think that. I don't know. Maybe he's younger, but I Deron Payne and Hargraves. We need to sign one of them. If McDonald's ain't ready for Rodgers, stay with Stick. I like that. Silly Wayne, what it do? Okay, Jimmy Farrell. I think of it as Singleness Awareness Day. See, now you guys, some jokes are going way over my head. Silly, Willie William, what it do? I don't know. Rip. Raquel Welch, and I saw that Raquel Welch and Tim McCarver. Well, I know who you said. Tim McCarver was my catcher. Hey, 2180, that's my girl. We still have to have a celebratory drink together because we were going to celebrate when a drink when TV12 retired. We need to do that. Let's get schnocked. Well, let's make sure we're not driving. And 2 DBs. I want a DB. I want 1 DB. I want a safety. I want everything, man. I want like Christmas. Did you book a room for Super Bowl? Oh, okay. So you were talking about Jack Kenna being mad. Okay, Raider Nation Network. I thought it was me. I'm like, no, I'm not mad at you. I have not booked a room for the Super Bowl. You approve of this haircut? Yeah. Have you heard Raiders may go and get Mac Jones? Ain't happening. I'll tell you why. Because they signed Bill O'Brien. And when they signed Bill O'Brien, and Bill O'Brien was his offensive coordinator in Alabama, he just was happier than a pig in slop. I cleaned it up. Big and sloppy. No, he ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I thought it was you, Dirty. I just wanted to make sure. I thought I wanted to be sure because I've been wrong before. And Dirty, by the way, good to see. I can't wait to see Dirty, man. I can't wait to see Dirty because it's awesome. And when I get out there, um, if I get to Cali, because again, it's the Gardler game. I don't know, man. Do season ticket holders get first crack at Super Bowl tickets? I don't think we have any crack at Super Bowl tickets. I don't think we do. Rafael Chacin Montillo, right? Fuck. Screwed that up. And I do think it's shave head is better. We shave to start. We shave to start planning our princess retirement. We shall do the retirement. So glad that Jalen Ramsey might be a free agent. If he is, if he's cut, I'd take him. So glad that is gone. Bye-bye. And then, why I say the transition. Here's the thing, the transition. Okay. I'm talking baseball. I'm going to talk hockey. And people who know me know. People who know me know I'm not really a basketball guy until May. I don't care. And I'm biased. I'll tell you why I'm biased, because I couldn't play basketball when I was a kid. I was a short, dumpy kid who had no hops. All I could do was foul and rebound. But I'm honest about it, right? I'm honest about it. I don't really dig basketball until like May or June. Okay, thanks, Dirty. I'm glad you aren't not mad at me. I appreciate that. Can't wait to see you as well. Hook me up with a hook me up with the hey Raider lady. Okay, Ed's in the house. Thanks, Ed. Makes sense because the Raiders are broke to ride with Stidham this year and move up in the draft for D4. Use the rest of our picks. That's right. Defense, man. And by the way, A2180, I know who you are. You might be getting a car. Okay, Jack Kenna, I changed the channel name to be a little more professional. And it is awesome. So we're 25 minutes in. Literally there's nothing on TV. I have the Flyer game, which starts in about 35 minutes. I'm on a DirecTV channel. It's going to show the Flyer game, right? But there's really nothing else on, right? I'll tell you what I was doing. I went home. I'm tired. I'm catching up on my recordings. I watched like two of the, what's the one with Tom Selleck, where he's the police commissioner? Blue Bloods. I watched like two Blue Bloods in a row because I have them on record, so I was watching. Yeah, no, thank you. Well, hey, Kyle Trask sucks, and don't be mad at me because again, I was talking about Florida quarterbacks historically suck. So do historically Ohio State quarterbacks. NBA should start after Christmas and have a June Madness like college in March. That's not a bad idea, but there's too much money in there. Gator Boy, Kyle Trask was not the answer. You have a household name with the nation. It may take me a minute to remember. Yeah, Dirty. Yeah, but Dirty's dirty, man. But I do like Raider Nation Network. The only problem I have with Steady is he was aggressive with the ball. We went from a game manager to the rest. Then he needs to be a little bit in between, right? He needs to be in between. I'm watching Trading Places with young, hot Jamie Lee Curtis with those perky cupcakes. She did have perky cupcakes. She did. I remember the blue, the red cupcake dress. Yeah. Chiefs and New Patriots. I agree with that. Going to get all the calls. Identical golden child makes me sick. Agreed. Matt. Agreed. Trask sucks. Only never had a chance. He had to sit behind that idiot and not get any play. That's not true. I saw him in preseason. He didn't look good in preseason. Now maybe he'll pull an Aaron Rodgers and he sat behind the guy for a couple years, and we'll see how much he got by osmosis. But it was just in preseason, Kyle Trask was not all that. And for those that are talking Anthony Richardson, no, he's going to be like Cam Newton. He's going to run, but he can't hit. If he was in a boat, he couldn't hit water. No. Lane's announced. Thank you there, Lane. Good to see you. Chiefs have been getting all the calls and no calls for a while now. Their O-line holds constantly, and Kelsey pushes off on almost every reception. Yes. Agreed. Preseason doesn't count. I know they're not historically great, but he needs a chance. Preseason camp don't mean anything. Okay. So here's the thing. You got Blaine Gabbert and Trask, Kyle Trask. I want to get the name right. You got Blaine Gabbert and Kyle Trask. Gabbert's your plug and play, a really old guy. Trask is your up and comer. You're going to draft or trade for a quarterback, right? And they got the quarterback coach, the fake Pirates, but for you I'll say your Bucks, but the fake Pirates got the quarterback coach from the Seahawks, which did a really good job with Geno Smith. So that's your new OC, right? If he could have gone anywhere, he'd go to Philly, because the old OC for the Gators is going to be, or was the quarterback coach for the Eagles, and now he's going to be the OC, right? So that's what's going on there. Sean Payne will resurrect Wilson. Oh gosh, I'd rather my dog than Gabbert. Yeah, okay. Need a quarterback to get Trask, who's going to be a bench warmer again. Okay, so we've gone through it. It's a half an hour. I'm going to put it up. I'm going to put the link up. I will say this. Thank you for coming in. Remember, like, share. I'm still like 18 people away from 2,000 subscribers. That's pretty cool. I mean, almost had 2,000 subscribers. This is not a money-making proposition, but I like to do big audiences, and maybe one of these days I'll have more people. And like I said, if you're watching Bear, tell Bear I'll do a show with Bear anytime. Get a new OC. I feel like Trask needs a chance. Wasting something that could happen. Yeah, well, he'll get his chance. Whether he makes well of it, we'll see. There's the link. You can say go Bucks. It's off season. No. Come on, man. Well, Rodgers next year is our season, a throwaway year, pretty much. Yeah, it very much. And John Leon, thank you for doing that. And so hey, we got Gabe in the house. Gabe, I do have to look to see who won. I'll figure out what the gifts are, because it'll be a gift certificate. Because I don't want any Raider things. Don't want any Raider. Yeah, he's kind of I know. See.
Hold on. I gotta switch my hat. Hold up. We got Motorsports. Shout out.
Oh, you got your hat from Wayne. Cool, man.
Yep, we got Motorsports. Shout out to him. Won it. Pretty sick.
That's cool.
Nice and comfortable. Not too tight. Not too loose.
Yeah.
Pretty good. He also sent me like some other things.
Let's see what else he sent.
He sent me this lovely necklace, which I don't really get. I guess it's something he got at like the stadium or something.
No. That is a Black Hole Modelo necklace. Black Hole is where the Black Hole Wayne and Gorilla Rilla and Sean, aka Senor Raider. Those are the big three of Black Hole. They are
Oh yeah.
sponsored by Black Hole. So every time you see like a TBH Black Hole thing, it's going to be, if you think Black Hole, you think those three guys because those are the guys.
All right, good to know. I was a little confused. I knew it was a Raiders thing. I just didn't know exactly what it was. To be honest, completely
That's
honest,
fine. That's fine. But it's
completely honest. But
but yeah, I'm going to say.
so I wanna say something, and I'm not gonna get too much into it because I know you're gonna get very upset about it. But the holding call, I'm calling out ESPN. I'm calling out all the social media accounts. You are posting the wrong photo of where the penalty is. You are. You're posting the when he holds his shoulders. That's not where the penalty is. The penalty occurs before the photos you're posting, which is where
I saw the hold.
yeah,
I saw the hold. It was a shirt tug.
which is called. That gets called.
The jersey tug.
Right.
Yes. But
That's,
here's where I tell you that, and I firmly believe with this. According to the rule book,
right.
Let's say that the official didn't have that angle that now you're showing, where it's a definitive shirt tug. According to the rule book, if say he was standing a little bit off center, right, and he didn't see that angle.
Ref Guru said that it was.
Let me finish,
Keep going.
please.
Yep,
And I
keep
know
going.
Ref Guru said he would have called it because he was looking at that angle that you prompted. If you saw that, yeah. But according to the rule book, it is not holding if you don't take your receiver off his route. If you don't impede the receiver so much that he's off his route, it's really not holding. And I say really not holding because yes, it's holding because it's a shirt tug, but that is why it is a.
But it held him back technically.
Yeah, but he wasn't off the route. It didn't impede him from the route. And by the way, and I thank what is it? Who
Because
said it?
he was running an out route. Like he like started and they went out kind of. Like that's yeah.
Was the ball catchable? No.
That's PI. That's not holding. That's what PI is.
Was the ball catchable?
It's not relevant.
Was the ball catchable?
No, but that's not.
Was the ball Answer mine.
No. That's not relevant.
If the ball isn't catchable,
yes.
And I know that it's not for that rule, but that decries that it's a bullcrap call at a bullcrap time because it wasn't catchable. It was a throw up. Literally, it was a throw up.
But see, that's not what the refs. That's not in the rule book, Cat. Like it. We can sit here and be like, "Oh, the optics don't look good." Okay, but when the refs throw a flag, are they thinking, "Oh, the optics of this play are gonna look really bad"? No. Like, okay, let's play. If you were ref captain, if you're sitting there, you are a Super Bowl ref, right? You are a Super Bowl ref.
First off, I'm almost 58 years old. I don't have the knees and the belly. Okay. So I can't be a ref in your analogy, right? Because I'm too old.
Oh my gosh!
Right?
Can you please be cooperative right now? Please.
Be cooperative? Come on, man. Come on,
just for
man.
this situation. Just for this. All right. Let's pretend you're 20 years younger. How about that? All right.
Okay.
Hypothetically.
58, 40, 30. I'd still be pushing 40.
Okay. All right. Whatever. All right. All right. You're sitting there, right?
Yeah.
First of all, refs have a hard job. I'm gonna be real because we sit here on podcasts and criticize them so much because of photos we see afterwards. But the other thing is like glad to see a young man on the show. Yeah. The other thing is
I'll put that up for you.
Thank you.
And then your favorite person also chimes in. By the way, don't mess with Ed Winchell, please.
He hates me.
I know, but I'm going to say respect your elders.
All right, I'll respect him if he respects me back.
You don't know. He's not going to respect you back because you're a kid.
Okay,
you're going to have to get used to it. That's what life's about.
I
You
hate to
gotta
break
have
it to you.
age, and you gotta have stature, and you gotta
Mm.
have worldly knowledge to get respect.
Kids
Not
are the future of the world, Ed. So get used to it.
be nice. Be nice to Ed.
I am, but am I not wrong? Kids are the future. They are what are the future.
You
Like
sound
that.
like Stevie Wonder. Yeah, the children
Oh my
are our
gosh.
future.
They.
Think you
Okay.
well and let
All right.
them be
All
the
right.
way. I hate
You
that.
were one. You were once a
I
kid too.
do.
Once.
I hate that song. I do. I hate it. It was it. You know, "We Are the World" should be banned from the earworms that it gave me for years. I can't stand the song.
Mm, mm.
Anyway,
But but yeah. So when I like, there wasn't a pen. Oh my gosh. Like this is where you guys aren't like you clearly don't understand the difference between a holding and a PI throw, a PI penalty.
oh wait a second. I
Not
clearly
you, not you, not you, not you, not you. You admitted that it's doesn't it matter in the relevance of the holding call, but he doesn't. Raider Man 81.
that's
That
lame.
is a
Be nice to Lane. I know these people personally.
okay,
That's
okay, okay,
lame.
okay. Lane. The um the common thing I see on like Twitter and stuff is that people are not understanding the difference between a holding and a PI penalty. A PI penalty, the overthrow comes into effect. Refs are trained that's when that comes into effect. Um, and then, but when it's holding, that like the overthrow does not take account
Okay.
into a holding
Do
penalty.
you know the difference between pass interference and holding?
Yes.
What is the difference between pass interference and holding?
Would you be okay if call cost you a Super Bowl? Would you be okay? I would be if I was an Eagles fan, I would be ticked, but I would go back and watch it and I would realize that it was a holding call. Your own player admitted to the fact. Yes.
What is the difference between holding and pass interference?
A PI impedes the route, the impedes a player's yeah, right?
No.
What's the
No.
difference? What's the difference, Captain?
The difference is between holding and pass interference was if the ball is in the air. If the ball is in the air and the same penalty is committed, it's pass interference. If the ball is not in the air, it's holding. So what I'm telling you is this. When Mahomes saw that, he threw it up because he was ganking for the call. And that's my point. Because the ball was not in the air, they called holding. And that's why I said the ball was not even catchable, even though that is not part of that penalty. But it should be if it's one of those things where the quarterback is gaming for the call. And you even said he's over there jumping up and down, give me a penalty. And in the grand scheme of things, it was a BS call at the wrong time. And that is
Okay. But guess if you call it, if you're gonna call, if you see that and you call it in the beginning of the game, you call it in the end of the game. That's their job.
And that's what the other point is. They didn't. They changed their thinking at the very end of the game. That they let things go on the entire game. They called for 58 minutes. They played a let them play because you knew it was going to be a let them play game when Reed hit the young kid from the Eagles, helmet to helmet, and there was no personal foul.
There was a lot of that in that game. There was a lot of.
You're proving my point.
Right. No, I know. Yes.
Letting them play, and then with 2 minutes to play, they decided to interject. Oh, I didn't get enough airtime. I'm Mike Carey. That's why I call Mike Airtime Carey. The black referee that is no longer, he's on doing the other things after thing. Airtime.
It was pretty obvious. It was a pretty obvious hold.
He needed to be on the air. And he's like, so he would go strut up, and he didn't have the guns like Hockley or Hockalugi, but he wanted his airtime. So Mike Carey would always make sure he had his airtime. The point is they let him play for 58 minutes, and then at the very last portion of the game, just like last year, because I said the same thing again, they let him play. Then all of a sudden, when the Rams needed to score, they threw a penalty on the Bengals, which enabled them to score the winning touchdown. That's the point.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That is a valid and a fair point. But the idea that this holding call is what the whole Super Bowl. Here's what I texted Alex. I think is his name on the West.
Alex, yes.
I DM'd him on Instagram and I said to him personally, I feel bad that your team's well-deserved Super Bowl win is overshadowed by this penalty. I do. I feel bad because truly he can't do anything about it. And I listen, if I were you Raiders fans, I know you hate the Chiefs. I understand it.
I'm honest about it, though. I'm honest. Yeah.
And I hate the Eagles. It's the same way. So obviously I was pulling for the Chiefs to win. And yeah, Bradbury's gonna cost you guys a good $15 million, just so you know. You should have signed him last year.
We tried.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
Really?
But he wanted to stay. He wanted to stay in division.
Interesting. I did not know that. I did not. I thought you guys would have interest just because of that Patrick Graham connection.
That's exactly why we wanted to get him, because of the connection with Patrick Graham.
Yeah, and you did get someone with the connection with Patrick Graham, Blake Martinez, but look how that paid out.
Yeah, well, but I mean, there was the reason why he retired was because there was crap in the locker room.
I don't think you're wrong. He won't admit to that, but I don't. I mean, you don't just retire mid-season if you like. There has to be something other than his Pokemon cord he saw. Not catchable should have never been called. Again, okay. I give up. I honestly give up with this catchable thing. I generally give up. And I may not know everything about football, but I do know that the PI and holding call, nothing about catchable comes into the effect of the holding call. Bottom line.
Thank you, Edward. And I am trying to be patient. I am trying to be patient. Is there? But and honestly, and here's the other thing. So I'm going to get off this one. Did Devontae Smith have the catch? Sure as hell did.
Could have gone either way. It wasn't, but I will say it wasn't clear which reason they shouldn't have Did they overturn that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't have. It wasn't clear enough for them to overturn the call. There was a bobble towards the end, but it's not. It has to be clear. It wasn't clear. It wasn't clear. I agree with that.
And that's the other thing. That catch. And the Eagles ended up getting 3 points at the end of the half, where they might have, because that was like in the inside of the 20. I think it was like on the 15-yard line or so. It was inside the 20, right? With time.
It was inside I believe it was inside the 40. Maybe it was inside the 20. I don't remember exactly.
It was farther down the field.
It was in field goal. It was in field goal range, and it was
right.
Yeah.
And they ended up getting a field goal anyway. But the point is that it was a catch and out of bounds, which stopped the clock.
Right. Correct. But same goes. I'm telling you, there was a penalty in the beginning of the game that was BS, and this goes to the effect of what you were saying. The refs did not call a consistent game. There was a clear roughing the punter play in the beginning.
No.
Yes, there was. It was so clear.
I went back and watched it. No.
Really? He hit him. He hit him.
Nah.
I'm gonna go.
Now I know a real clear. No, that wasn't roughing the punter.
I gotta go watch all 22. I'll watch it.
And Mike Sarah says to go to bed. I'm gonna give you a little more because
joke's on you, Mike. I don't have school tomorrow, so haha. Funny.
and John Leon said the same thing. At the end of the game, the refs screwed it up, which gave the game to the Rams because that's the way it was scripted.
But that shouldn't take effect over the fact that the Chiefs outcoached the Eagles. They outplayed. They did. They outplayed them in the second half. They outcoached them in the second.
Again, holding calls called against you on your offensive line, it does help you quite a bit.
Now, I will say something that paid effect into, everyone's like, oh, that Eagles pass rush is too good to not get a flag. They were slipping and sliding. Oh, like that.
The other thing as well, the field was slippery. And what is the Eagles primarily good for? Running the ball. So
Yes.
it hurt the running team more than a passing team.
But the Eagles GM Howie Roseman said it best. They both played on the same field. They both played on the same conditions. So it's not like that.
True, but if you are a running team and you are more adept at running the ball, it hurts you more than a passing team.
You're in the Super Bowl. Gotta adapt. You can't go in and be like, oh, we're gonna run the ball, and then you got to adjust. I mean, that's the NFL. I'm telling you, we had something that's a. Also, I have a question for you about your player. Before I go into that, I have a question for you about your player. I believe his name is Denzel Perryman, the linebacker who is scheduled to hit free agency this offseason. Is that correct?
I think so, yes.
What? Tell me what you know. Tell me what you know.
He's a team captain. He was a Pro Bowler last year, not this, or 2 years ago, because technically last year is last year. He's the heart of the defense that we have. He's a little longer in the tooth, but he's a damn good player. His problem is he's I don't want to say injury prone, but he's apt for injuries.
I don't like that. Gosh darn it. It was all going well until you said injuries. It was all going well. Giants are in the market for a linebacker this offseason. That's why I was asking, and I'm doing my.
I heard Martinez is available.
That relationship is long gone. Sailed the ship. Wink and him did not get along.
Yeah.
They did not.
No, Roy. He's too young. He's too young. He's too young to bet. He's like, what are you, 16?
Yeah, I don't bet. First of all, I think it's really risky, by the way. And third of all, I'm not a good bettor. I would bet on the Giants every play, so every game. So
Don't ever be a gambler, because you got to divest yourself from your biases. Okay.
Right. I'd rather save my money for like vacations,
Right. Well,
and going to Giants games.
That's a good thing to save it for. That in a car, that in dates,
Mhm.
that you gotta.
With cars, I hope you didn't take any offense to me saying to pay attention on the road. I just wanted to be safe.
I knew it was heartfelt in a good way. I knew it was heartfelt in a good way. I took no offense, and I actually appreciate the fact that you knew that I need, especially with the new truck and with people here that are Florida drivers suck.
Do you have the Laramie or do you have the Bighorn?
I got the Bighorn.
That's what we have. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Bighorn, and because I didn't want the leather package, because the leather package in Florida bakes. And so I got and he wants to go to Disneyland.
I don't want to go to Disneyland. What? No.
Disneyland. Come here to Disney World. It's better. It's more spacious, and it's better anyway. Disneyland, you have rides upon rides. It's packed.
I was at a conference for my parents recently for Disney World. I was at Disney World like just a couple weeks ago. Disney World is the biggest like scam ever. I mean, all amusement parks are, but like the prices at that joint are crazy through the roof. I'm telling you, they are. I'm never going back to a Disney property. Not even kidding. Until I have kids. But like never going back to a Disney. Never going back to Disney.
No, I mean, I go every once in a while. I haven't been to Disney recently, but by the way, if Ray Haas, I'd like to see in here. Okay, anybody else? I'm gonna let Gabe go to bed, because it is pushing 10 o'clock.
Oh, I'll be in the chat with Ed and
I know you will be.
And who else? Where?
Mike, who gives you and Mike Sarah, who loves you to death.
Yeah, they're my fans. I'm gonna get you #1 fan shirts.
Yeah, you need to. Captain Jack's #1 fan. Get it and wear it. That's what I want to see.
Do you have merch? Do you have like merchandise?
I'm going to eventually. I have the beanie, which has my patch on it.
That's pretty cool. Where do you get that?
I had some ladies knit them, and then they put the patch on them, and it's the problem is that it's like a $45, $50 beanie, because it's hand knitted with the patch, And so I haven't put them up for sale yet because I don't know how much they're going to sell.
You need to get that production price down. You need a.
It's you know how much I had to pay to have it hand knitted?
Well, right. If you're gonna get hand knitted, it's gonna be expensive, right?
It's going to be expensive.
But
Okay. And Jack,
Captain,
he's a podcaster. I got this gentleman gave through the Sneaky G show because Sneaky G had a lot of youngsters. And I don't take offense. He had a lot of youngsters on the show, and
and I'm the only one still coming, by the way. Sorry.
And came over to my show. So and I mean like Philly, Mike came over, and you came over. I used to have the Redskin guy. I haven't heard from him, and I used to even have the Jacob Browns by Jacob. I haven't seen any of these people in a while. So you and Mike at least have stayed, and I appreciate.
I act like the Chiefs are my team. Okay, well that's only because number one, I really didn't want the Eagles to win a gosh darn Super Bowl. First of all, their fan base. We were just getting over 2016. We were just getting over it, and then this year happened. So I really didn't want to go through that again, and I live in PA, and I live more towards Philly than Pittsburgh, and I would never hear the end of it. Like in school, I mean, I would never hear the end of it. So yes, for the past week, I've been on high on the Chiefs. Yes, correct. I have been because I really don't want the Eagles to win, just like you guys don't want the Chiefs to win. So Mike, don't act like you haven't been acting like a Eagles fan for the past 2 weeks either.
And Mike lives in misery, and that's why he hates the Chiefs a lot too.
Yes, I literally, like, if you guys lived where I lived, or if you guys lived in Kansas City. If you lived in Kansas City, you guys would be miserable. Or Missouri, right? That's in Missouri, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you live there, you would be miserable.
Right.
So.
And like Mike says, we hate the Chiefs just as bad as you hate the Eagles.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
I admit this, and people get on my case about it. When the Chiefs were playing the fake Pirates, I rooted for the Chiefs. And people ask me why. I said, it's because I freaking live here.
Raider Man 81, I feel bad for you that you have to deal with. Actually, I don't. Are Kansas City fan? I mean, I'm sure there's some bad ones, right? But is their fan base generally a terrible fan base?
There are honestly, most of them are cool. But
Okay.
A lot of them are smug, just like Alex, and those are the ones I can't stand.
No, okay, I get that. I'm sure they give you guys a lot of pain in the butt, but like I'm talking like, do they really like are they crazy? Like they're not crazy, right?
Well, they are a unique lot, like the one fan who robbed banks in order to go to the games.
What?
Exactly.
Hey, here's my philosophy. Here's my philosophy about Eagles fans. Every fan base has turd muffins and turd bags and assholes, all that, right? Every fan base has those, right? The Eagles just have more. That's literally what I said. The Eagles just have more. Flyers fans are terrible. All Philly fans, actually, Philly fans aren't, or Phillies fans aren't that bad. Not as bad as Eagles fans. Although most of them are Eagles fans.
Hey, James Farrell, F you. Oh, okay, not you. Okay. You said okay. I didn't see that, James. You said Flyer fans are the worst. Yeah, they're kind of like it. But thank you, James Farrell.
It's really the people that live in Philly that are the worst. Like the Philly, like people that live literally smack dab in Philly, especially South Philly. Those people,
Yeah, I'm from South Philly.
You are actually.
When I was a kid.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I didn't know that. But I had one. Yeah, it sounds like Chiefs fans. They're very loud and obnoxious.
I will say this.
They do that. Oh,
Gabe, I'm gonna let you go after this, but I'm gonna say this. The fans that I had in Kansas City, because I was there for the game. I was front row.
Yeah, it's the one you got like good seats for a good price, right?
Yeah, I got good seats. They were pricey, but we got good seats. But the Kansas City fans that I was with said that I was cool for a Raiders fan.
Hey, that's a compliment.
Yeah, I did. I took it as a compliment. because I wasn't obnoxious, I wasn't an a-hole, and I was looking at the game, and I was being I'm watching the game and giving my views, but I gave the views as unbiased as I could. And
Hey,
even when I said that that the car fumbled the ball
yeah.
and it should have been a fumble, but that they threw the penalty on Jones for belly flopping, and I said, well, I get the penalty because it was a belly flop, so it was roughing the passer, and so but I said, and then the Chiefs fans started throwing batteries and other things and cokes and beer
Hey.
at the Raiders. Yes, at the game. But that call cost the Raiders the game because then they had makeup calls for the Chiefs all night long.
Yep, sounds about right. And listen, I'm gonna end on this. I know you want me to get me out of here. You're like, please just leave already. One last thing, but every fan base has their biases. Or every fan base does. So that's what I'll end it on. Captain, thank you for having me on. My fans, Matt, I think is his name. Is that right? And Ed, all you guys, or no, it's Mike, and Ed.
Mike Sarah is not a fan, and Ed Winchell is not a fan. I'm just saying. Jack Kenna gave you props for being here, and that's just the way it is.
Hey, respect Jack Kenna for that. Good for you.
Well,
Thank you.
You know what? You can say respect to Jack Kenna because he's right here.
Hey, salute, gentlemen.
Salute.
How you guys doing tonight?
We're good. I'm kicking the kid out, but I wanted to make sure that he had a chance to give you props before he left.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. I'm glad to see a young guy on the show, and I'm glad to see some passion and some heart from young gentlemen that love their teams. I'm just glad they're out there.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome.
Captain, Jack, have a great night. I will be on. Are you going to have a show Tuesday, Captain? Sunday, right?
Sunday I'll have a show. I'm required to have a show, so I'll have a show Sunday.
I'll be back Sunday. See y'all. I'll be in the chat, though. I'm still here, Ed. I'm still here.
Nice.
Hey, respect Ed. Ed's a brother.
Yeah, I'll respect Ed. As
Ed
long
knows
as he
so much about the Raiders, it's unbelievable.
I love fans that know a lot about their team. That's very. I like knowledgeable fans about their team. That's very good.
And he keeps in touch with like the young guys. He just had lunch with Caleb Williams. So,
what? Like the USC quarterback?
Yeah.
Ed's got.
He knows his stuff, man. I'm telling you.
That's crazy.
He knows all the stuff from the Raiders. His family's been like in the organization, like they're like work for them, and like he's got his contacts. So
wow,
know that.
Wow, that's actually pretty cool. Caleb Williams is like going to be. He was the Heisman Trophy winner, wasn't he?
Well, I'm hoping, which I'm going to talk about with Captain. Like Captain already knows my take.
Yeah, I know
about Caleb Williams next year. So.
Oh, you guys are going to wait for one.
I want it.
That's what Giants fans said last year too. We're gonna wait. We're gonna make Daniel Jones fail, and then we're gonna wait for. It was Bryce Young. That's who we wanted. Bryce Young. Everyone wanted Bryce Young.
No, don't want Bryce Young. Hey, Ron, thanks now.
I think he's undersized. I don't.
He's a toothpick.
I think he's gonna get killed.
He's gonna
but he is undersized, and that's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, he's still going to be like the number 2 overall pick, which is crazy.
I mean, look at the kid from Boston College, like years and years ago. Undersized, good quarterback, but you're undersized, it's going to make it hard throwing lane. So,
but with that, Captain, I'll get out of here.
Doug Flutie, because I know you were looking for the name, Doug Flutie.
I don't remember him. I'm not going to lie.
I know. That's why I said go look him up. Go look him up, Gabe.
Did he ever do anything?
Gabe, I'm gonna kick you out. Go look him up.
Okay, all right. I'll go look him up. I'll go do some research on Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie. Okay?
And absolutely do Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie. Hey, Gabe,
all right, I'm gonna look it up.
Show, brother.
They remind me of each other.
See you, Captain.
All right. Except that Doug Flutie was just small, and Bryce is toothpick. He's small and skinny. But one thing I will say about Bryce is that he can move around. Flutie was the scrambler, like Tarkington. But I still think that Bryce Young, I always want to call him Bryce Howard. Like the actress. I don't know why Howard always gets in my way, or at least I'm not calling him Bryce Harper, because it is baseball. Okay. But by the way, I was on a show last night with my Philly people for the Edge of Philly Sports, and they were saying that when Bryce Harper came down here for spring training, he was at a mall or at the airport or something like that, and a kid recognized him, and he didn't have anything for him to sign. So Bryce Harper took off his shoe, signed his shoe, and gave his shoe to the kid. So he's walking around with one shoe.
One shoe? Oh my God, that's funny.
But the thing is that that's how accommodating Bryce Harper is. And
well, that is really cool to do that for a fan.
Yeah.
That is really, really cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's on the Nugenics commercials. Him and Frank Thomas. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Of course, he was in the NFL before you were born. But no. Okay. Anyway.
Cool, Kev. Salute, brother.
There you go. Salute to everybody, man. How you doing?
So
Anyway.
I love your take, about like getting a veteran quarterback in here.
Yeah.
And, and I do respect like what OG's takes, like, who's the next best quarterback? It's Carr. We made a big mistake. McDaniels made a big mistake and letting Carr go. We should have held on to him and not did what we did. It's just another Raiders mess up. Are we on Roku, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you for telling me that. So yeah, that was a big mess up.
That was a big F up.
So yeah. So now
I'm just repeating it for you. I don't agree, and I'll tell you why. Because, and I was saying this at the beginning of the show. It's like,
well, tell the people what we're talking about because they don't know.
Okay, Carson Wentz got a 2 and a 3, and Garoppolo got a 2nd and whatever, And Carson Wentz, actually, they had Carson Wentz on there twice because he was traded twice, and they got good stock for him. And I can't remember what the other quarterback was. There were 4 Carson Wentz twice, Garoppolo, and another quarterback. Matt Ryan. That was the other one, right? They said this is what the comp was. The Raiders, in their infinite wisdom, get 0. Okay, got it. But the point was this. The way they structured that contract, they gave them an out after this year. It was a 1-year prove it deal. Now, where I think they screwed up, and again, I wasn't in the room when they did this, was that they made it on February 15th instead of March 15th, which was league year. And maybe Carr's agent said, okay, well, we'll give you that out year, but we want the contract to end on February 15th. And in order for them to get the out and Carr maintaining his trade clause, they kind of kowtowed to him. But I really firmly believe it was a bait and switch in order to get Carr to sign, and then you bring Devontae Adams in. See, we got your boy. He's under contract, but it's a 1-year prove-it deal. So they don't get anything for him, but you know what? They get rid of $40 million. It's not the most opportune thing, but if you really don't like somebody that much, you get rid of them.
Well, this is the weird thing. It's like, New England wanted Carr, so they wanted him, and they don't get him. And then, McDaniels comes here, and yes, that contract was kind of structured kind of a weird way. And yes, they get Devontae. But so do you feel like it was sabotage from like day one? Like we're doing this to get Devontae, and then we're going to kick your ass to the curb. Even though, like, reports the year before, like when he's coming up to his last year in his contract, the one team that we always heard about was New England with McDaniels. So that's kind of weird.
I think that where the Raiders screwed up, and it wasn't this year, the Raiders screwed up when there was an offer, allegedly, because we don't know. The offer was allegedly the Redskins or the Washington football team giving up 2 ones for Carr.
Man, I wish we would have done that now.
Wouldn't it have been great to have 2 number 1 picks?
Oh, absolutely.
They should have got, and see, the problem is they should have got rid of Carr a couple years ago. 9 years with nothing to show for it.
I don't want to go to that because I don't agree with that. I like Carr. I'm a big Carr fan. So I think the Raiders really messed up, and now we're scrambling. We are scrambling. And we put all our eggs like hoping that Tom Brady would come here, which I was hoping for too. I'm like, a 1-2 year bridge quarterback.
Yeah.
And so I agree with you now. It's like, our options are limited. Brissett is probably the best option, as a bridge quarterback. And, you got to re-sign Stidham.
Yeah.
And now instead of like, if we didn't do this with Carr, our number 7 pick could have been used on defense. Now we got to use it on a quarterback. So everyone's talking about, Aaron Rodgers. You got to give up the house to get that guy. Green Bay's not going to give him up for like cheap. It's not going to be like the first and a second round draft pick for like Devontae.
I don't want Rodgers. I don't want Rodgers.
I'm not saying you do, but I'm just saying that's what you have to give up to get Aaron Rodgers. And it's got to be put in the contract. Aaron Rodgers doesn't know what he wants to do year in, year out. Am I going to be playing or am I retiring? It's like Tom Brady. It's like every year it's like, they're getting old. So it's like they're like trying to decide what they want to do. They want to risk their bodies, or they've already made enough money. So really, what do they care? But do they want to make more money and because they get bored? So if AR doesn't come here, I want Brissett. I want Stiddy to come back as backups. Maybe Brissett, maybe become a starter. I don't want Jimmy G. That dude is always hurt. I always laugh at my Niner fans up here in Northern California. That dude it's always hurt. So it's like you're paying him money to like sit on the bench, and you get a guy like Purdy, and he plays better than Jimmy G. So now at number 7, now we have to use our pick on a quarterback.
No, we do not. No.
So okay, wait. You didn't let me finish though, Cap. So if we re-sign Stiddy, we get Brissett, and you already know where I'm going with this now. You're reading my mind. I would love to take that pick, and I would trade it out, and I would get multiple picks for the number 7 pick and go next year into the one guy that I think is going to be the beast. He's going to be the number 1 draft pick overall, in Caleb Williams.
Okay. Let me ask though. In order for that to happen, you're going to have to be Nostradamus, and you're going to have to project who is going to have the number 1 pick next year. In order for that to come to fruition, you're going to
don't know, but you trade 3 first-round draft picks or trade Lance. You can trade multiple picks and get multiple picks for next year to get a guy like that.
Who's going to suck the most next year in order to do that? And you're going to have to be Nostradamus. By the way, it might be us.
Probably the Bears again.
Okay. Well, maybe. We'll see. But you're going to have to project who's going to suck most.
So, again, Raider Nation, you look at what, ESPN and all the other channels are talking about, what you have to give up for Aaron Rodgers. Multiple firsts, multiple seconds. And it's conditional on, like, how many years he plays. So, yeah, a Jacoby Brissett and a Stiddy for 1 year. And you get rid of our 7 number overall pick, and you're going to get multiple picks because you're going back a year, and then you take those same picks, you bundle up, and we're not going to be a playoff team. the way we're going, unless we get an Aaron Rodgers. And even then, we're not going to be like a Super Bowl team. Look at it. The Niners, they build up their defense. Then they go after a quarterback. You look at the Eagles, they build up their defense, go after a quarterback in the draft. The philosophy of all the teams that are going this way, they build up their defense, which we don't have. We all agree. Defense, 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 defense.
Which we need to do, right?
So we need to build that defense up first. So if we're going to have a 1-year bridge, and then to get a guy like Caleb Williams, then I'm for it.
Okay. Well, let's put it this way. I really think you need to give a couple people chances. First off, you see what you get with Stiddy and what you get with Brissett, right? You got Garbers, who already knows the system. Granted, it's only 1 year, but he's been there for a reason. I think you're going to draft, if my guy with the information is correct, you draft Tanner McKee or Hooker, who's on an ACL. And I've seen Hendon Hooker play. That kid can play. And you don't need him this year because he's on an ACL anyway. He's on an ACL. A year to get better. But he soaks up the system. If it's not Tanner McKee, draft Hooker. And other people are saying, another court, the Will Levis. I think maybe Levis. Oh man, are you serious? The Flyers just gave up a shorthanded goal on a power play. I'm sorry.
Well, my San Jose Sharks haven't done anything this year either. Everything I read is like, trade talk, get rid of players. So I get it with the hockey. But so Cap, I heard you say earlier tonight about Richardson. You're I know you're a Florida guy.
Yeah.
And you said no on him.
No.
I'm not saying him at number 7.
No.
But if you're going to get him in the second round at 38, so what? I haven't watched Florida the whole year. I watched Caleb Williams against my Notre Dame team, and he smoked Notre Dame. But what is it about Richardson that you're like, I don't want him?
He can't. He's not accurate. You're going to need to put him in a like an accuracy farm. I know that's not the right word for it. You're going to need to have a accuracy coach come in here because he's got a cannon. He's got a cannon. That's the other thing. He doesn't know when to not throw it so damn hard. Because all of his passes are fastballs when he needs to throw the changeup and the slider occasionally, in baseball analogy, right? He only throws fastballs. And then when he throws the fastballs, like I said, he can throw it from one end of the field to the other, but you don't know where it's going to go. Okay? He's not accurate, and he needs to learn the soft touch.
Well, I kind of feel, in the world of football, you can't really teach accuracy. You can teach everything else in the game. But if you're not an accurate quarterback, then you know what? I don't want Richardson either. You're done. In my mind, you're gone. Like a Stroud who's like super accurate, and you can like teach him to do other things. If you're an accurate quarterback and you know the touch, you can do that. Yeah. So if we're going to draft, Stroud would be my number 1. Levis would be number 2. But that kid reminds me of he has a weird window like Carson Wentz to Josh Allen, and I've heard someone else say that too. And which is exactly my opinion. Like, I don't know where that kid's going to go, but he's intriguing. So if we're going to keep our pick, number 7's got to be a quarterback. I don't see us trading up. I don't see us trading back. Right. I just feel like the Raiders are going to do whatever who drops to us at number 7. And I'm kind of curious of like your McKee, like, you are the only one in the nation that has got this McKee kid.
Because I'm hearing from a source that has it from within the building.
No, within the building.
Within the building.
Well, then we can talk offline on that one. I'm curious.
I ain't giving up my source, and he ain't.
Well, no, you don't tell me your source, but
no, I have a guy who has a source within the building. He gave me this information. Okay? My source is good because he has gotten other information that is panned out to be correct. Okay? He says he hears it from somebody in the building that the Raiders are looking at Tanner McKee. Here's the thing. I don't know if people are going to say, well, Captain Jack says because he's got a source, if that's going to go out. I mean, Wi-Fi Willie, I'm not sure Wi-Fi Willie is going to quote me. Okay? Although Wi-Fi Willie is a glorified leader of the Derek Carr fan club. I don't get a chance to watch his stuff. I'm not saying he's horrible, but from what I've been hearing, it's like all it is Derek Carr boo hoo hoo, right? Yeah, he's got like 7,000, 10,000 subscribers. Great, because that's his job. My job is not this. My job is other things. You guys know, well, some of you know what my job is. But he's all about, the Derek Carr fan club. Well, I'm sorry, he's not our quarterback anymore.
In the spirit of after all the quarterbacks are gone. So Tom Brady's gone, Aaron Rodgers is gone. In the spirit of our brother, OG, and you already heard this, I'm sure you talked about it. Who's the next best quarterback? Derek Carr. So I agree with that. So OG, I know you're out there somewhere. Salute you, brother. And Cool Kev, I'm not saying we're going to lose to get the first round draft pick. What I'm saying is we could trade back to get more picks next year to get the real number one quarterback in Caleb Williams. So Kev, just saying that to you, bro.
Yeah, I said, well, we'll see what the Raiders do. I'm actually very curious. I hope that I'm not the meme, because I'm going to try to be in Kansas City for the draft, and I hope I'm not the meme of my good friend that was the meme when we were in Nashville, and he has the look of like what the Foxtrot when we drafted Cleve Farrell, right?
So. Yeah, well, Captain, haven't you been that way every year for the last 30 years? I mean, I've been that way. I'm I try to do my research, and it's been easier and easier every year we get older because there's more technology to do these fake fantasy football drafts, and half of them are BS, but I do them because it's fun. And then it's I read more bios. I don't follow all the colleges.
Right.
I know you follow Florida State. I follow Notre Dame.
I follow Florida. I don't follow Florida State.
Oh, I'm sorry, just Florida.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Get it right.
Sorry, I'm on the West Coast, man. I've never been to Florida, so I don't know. But I know you're a Florida guy. I'm a California guy, but I do follow Notre Dame, so that's my team. And when I saw that kid Caleb Williams, and he absolutely smoked a ranked team in my Notre Dame, single-handedly smoked him. And he looked just like Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, this kid's special. He is special. So, Ed, I can't wait to get my Caleb Williams jersey from you, bro. Ed said he met him and had lunch. He showed me a picture.
Cool. I got. Is it over here? Allow me to show you what I picked up the other day.
All right, show me. So Ed, why did you come on? We tried to do this 3 or 4 times, but one of us is having internet issues to hop on a show. Ed, come on, bro.
Okay, let me make sure to do so that you guys can't really see what it is, because I just picked this up the other day. Okay, first thing I'm going to show is this.
It's kind of glossy. Goat? Is that but Niners?
No, it's a Jerry Rice signed poster with all of his got Niners, Seahawks, Raiders, Grambling. Okay, so
that's pretty cool.
It's signed Jerry Rice with the certificate of authenticity. Okay, But this is the one that I really like as well.
Oh, 80. Oh, Tim Brown. Nice.
There you go.
I honestly, I really want, I only have one jersey, and the player is in the way auto, but I do want a Tim Brown Notre Dame jersey since that's my favorite college. And I watched Notre Dame play against Stanford back in I think it was like 87, 88. And I do want that. And it's like when Jerry, started passing up Tim Brown, it hurt me. I'm like going, God, dude, Tim's better. But he had like a great quarterback in Joe Montana and Steve Young and consistent offense. And we are doing the same type of stuff we did then, we are doing now. I want consistency. I want our players to be under consistent coaching and be able to learn and you don't have to switch stuff up. When you switch stuff up, you don't get better. You kind of digress. And I think that's what Carr did. It's like, and I hate the fact that Carr's gone. And it's like, now we got to waste our first round pick on a quarterback. Unless we go Aaron Rodgers, and then we waste a bunch of draft picks, and then we mortgage our future for a guy who's going to get ready to retire. It's like the turmoil is it's getting redundant.
I don't want Aaron Rodgers. I don't want Aaron Rodgers. I understand why you would go after Garoppolo because he knows the system, but if Garoppolo would be able to stay healthy.
He can't stay healthy. That's why Brissett is the best option.
That's why I want Jacoby Brissett and I want Stidham and use your picks on defense or keep acquiring more picks. That's what I want.
No, I agree with you 100% on Brissett and re-sign Stiddy. But is it a drop off from Carr? Yes. Yeah. And Cap, I'm at 4%. I got to go before I get cut out anyway. So Salute to you, Cap. Thank you for having me on, and salute Nation. Hope you guys have a great evening, and let's go Raiders.
Thank you there, Jack. You take care. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Love you, brother.
I love you back, man. That's great. Good to see Jack. And I said we need defense. The old golf expression is what drive for show, putt for dough, right? You can be you can have a wicked first stroke or hitting off the tee, whatever that's called. I like golf. I did, and I like playing this. I've only played a couple times. But you putt for dough. You got to have a short game. Football, offense, right, gets all the play, but defense wins the game. And and I hate to say it was the Niners defense with that touchdown and basically shutting out the Eagles. Why they won? Because their defense kept them in the game. Which was good. We had two. Yeah, well, we don't. And again, I wasn't a big Carr fan. Like I said, I'm not a Kardashian. I'm not a Kardashian. You win with defense. And 07, Matt says, do you think the Raiders really picked normally? They picked someone like Leatherwood or Cleve Farrell. Well, yeah, but they also picked Miller and they picked Josh Jacobs. And like I said, give Garbers a chance. Did anybody see Brock Purdy being as good as he was? Why? Because he had defense. As long as you don't turn the ball over and you hand it off to, the McCaffrey and the other kid, the one that plays wide receiver and running back, I can't remember his name. Got Kittles, right? As long as you don't screw it up, you got a defense, you got a decent O-line. Why you're good. Is Garber's going to be in the Hall of Fame? No. And Matt, if the thing is that, and they were saying that he will tell the Packers, either you trade me to the Raiders or I'm going to retire. But is that the guy you want on your team? I don't want to give up a lot for Aaron Rodgers. I don't. A second. And Gabe, thank you for still being on. We need a stud at quarterback. But you need to draft the stud. I'll tell you some quarterbacks that played for Stanford that did pretty well. Jim Plunkett, John Elway, Andrew Luck. Right? Jim Plunkett, John Elway, and Andrew Luck played for Stanford. Give Tanner McKee a shot. Would you trade Waller? I would trade Waller or Renfro. You need capital. Yeah, the number one rusher, number one receiver, and still couldn't make the playoffs. Yeah, because we didn't have a defense. Who thought Tom Brady would be Tom Brady? Not me. 199, man. 199. Gabe, no. I don't think so. Second round, yeah. Second round, yes. Depends on how much of a hot seat Davis has been getting. If he has more time than we can roll with cinema, if he has not win now, then he deals with some of that. We'll see. And Jimmy Farrell, I like Renfro too, but you need picks. And I think that Waller or Renfro is going to be dealt for picks. Yeah, and that Rodgers has a D in his name, by the way. It's Rodgers. We'll see. We are an hour and a half into the show. If you'd like to come into the show, hit the link. I'm going to bed pretty much after the show. Got to do 7.5 tomorrow. I am saying, and here's the transition. I'm going to 3 Phillies games for spring training. 2 in Clearwater, 1 in Dunedin. Unfortunately, all the games I'm going to are Phillies versus Blue Jays, because those are the only ones I could get tickets to. Because I was looking online for the Phillies games, right? Gabe, no. 1 shot a night. 1 shot a night. You can put your things in the comments. That's a rule. That's a rule. Unless there was like a power outage or something like that. And I have given people some, but no. And you were on for 15 minutes, if not more. But you can go into 3, you're going to go 2 in Dunedin, 2 in Clearwater, 1 in Dunedin, 1 in Dunedin and 1 in Clearwater on the weekend, so I don't have to worry about work, which is good. So I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, I know you're still up. Yeah, you see, Gabe's still up. You hear DeGrom is hurt already. Oh, really? I did not hear that. Ooh, who's fighting? Alexiak of the. Oh, nice punch. Who's 44? Every time I see that, I think it's Desjardins. But it's like, because that's who 44. Oh, nice. Mises. It is a French Canadian guy. What's his name? Every time I see 44, I think Deslauriers, another French Canadian. Had nice punches. 5 for fighting. I can't wait to go because again, it's transition. It's baseball season, and DeGrom is hurt already. That's uh, didn't he leave the Mets? Yeah, did he leave the Mets? Oh, nice. Oh, couple rib shots, couple. I tell you, Alexiak got pummeled. It was not pretty. Almost baseball season. Go Braves. Ugh. And they did steal the tomahawk chop. And like I said, it's. I obviously love my Phillies, but why doesn't the NFL make the Chiefs get rid of their name? Why? That's my question. They made the Redskins get rid of their name. Why not the Chiefs? G Mike from Misery as well. Oh, hey Ron, good seeing you, man. Oh, I missed. Wait, there you go. Be safe. Good night to you as well, sir, and be careful on your driving. Be careful on your driving. Oh yeah, DeGrom went to Texas. He's hurt already. Yeah. A delayed penalty on the Flyers. What they do? So as soon as they touch the puck, it's going to be a penalty. Oh, but the friggin' Kraken score anyway. Really? They score it. So that means that they still get the penalty, I think, too. Jimmy Farrell is my hockey guy. There was a delayed penalty. But they scored on the delayed penalty. But don't they still get a penalty? Oh, nice tip in by Schultz. And then the guy was up in front of the net, 37, over 37. It was a great tip in. So the Kraken are up 2-0, 5 minutes and 21 seconds left. Oh, good, they wiped the penalty. Okay. So the Kraken up 2-0. Yeah, because they're the Chiefs. It's like get rid of the name. Gator D line in the backfield. Gators still got some improvement to do. Although when I went to see them in the bowl game, it wasn't the Gators that I knew because they were all resting for their, didn't want to get hurt for the combat. Local papers wrote articles about changing name to the Kings because they used to have the Kansas City Omaha Kings. Raider man. And I apologize. I thought you were my friend Lane. Because my friend Lane was also Raider Man 81. So, and I didn't realize that that wasn't you. So apologies. But yeah, the Kings, the Kansas City Omaha Kings, which are now the Sacramento Kings, that's where they moved to. If they change their name, good. I say get rid of the friggin' name. I do. I say get rid of the thing. They should strike a deal with McDonald's and call them the Clowns. Did they score again? Oh, they all scored again. Wow. They're peppering them. Let's go Lakers, win the most of the last games. We make the playoffs. Yeah, okay. By the way, Bishop, Coach on the Wild Wild Way, he's a big Lakers fan. Get with him. He has his Lakers podcast thing. So he talks basketball. So get out with him. It's Coach defense. I say move them out of Missouri. Well, G Mike, I like to see that too. That ain't happening. The Hunts are going to be there, but get rid of their name. I would giggle. Because they made them change their name. And yes, they should change the name of the Atlanta Braves. They should. They should change. And no, Florida State's going to remain the Seminoles. Why? Because they give a big stipend of money to the Seminole tribe. So they're not going to get their name changed. Why? Because they're advertisements for them, right? But I say get rid of the name. They flirting with moving them to Kansas. Okay. The Kansas Kings. Anyway. We'll see. We'll see. Braves do a lot for local tribes too. I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying that if you're gonna be a-holes, right, to one team in one sport, be consistent. The Indians changed their names to the Guardians, right? Because there was an uproar. They got rid of Chief Wahoo, and I got a couple of Chief Wahoo hats over there because I had, was it Carlos Carrasco? Carlos Carrasco, the pitcher. I have like two signed Carlos Carrasco. I think that's his name. He signed a couple Chief Wahoo hats when he was here in Florida. So I got that autograph with him with the Chief Wahoo thing. But anyway, they got rid of the Indians' name. The Atlanta Braves should do something. Why are the Chiefs in our division? Look at the map. Texas is closer than them. Well, the world has gotten to be too sensitive. I know, John. I know it's political correctness. I just would giggle, and I'm not for political correctness. I'm not for political correctness. The Indians had an offensive logo, but no, they changed that logo a long time ago. They changed the logo, and it was Chief Wahoo. And like I said, I can show you. Remind me, and I'll have the Chief Wahoo hat, which they changed. They got rid of. But I got the guy Carlos Carrasco, I think was the pitcher. Maybe the Chiefs and Braves give money to the tribe too. I don't know. I don't care. Braves was a warrior. Nothing derogatory about the name. I got it. I just like to giggle because remember the Atlanta Braves are in the NL East with my Phillies, and it's the Phillies and the Braves and the Mets, and those are the teams, right? And again, the Phillies were like a year ahead of their time. I did not expect them to win the National League last year. It was great, but they were a year ahead. And the other reason why I said it's going to be a transition is pretty soon, okay, I'm going to be starting to wear this, right? Because it's a transition. This was like that. I have a boatload of Raider hats. You guys know that. Boat time. But it's baseball season. Or I don't want to have a gritty jersey. That's a double O. I do have my Flyer. I have a boatload of Flyer jerseys. I'll wear those. AFC West had the Saints. That's not true. The Saints have never been in the AFC West. That's not true. They had the Seahawks. And they had the Buccaneers originally in the AFC West. Look it up. That's a sucker bet that I have with fake Pirate fans. The fake Pirates, a.k.a. the Buccaneers, their first year in the NFL played the AFC West. And the first year for the Seattle Seahawks, they played in the NFC Central, where they had East, Central, and West. Then when they did then the next year, the Bucs went to the NFC Central, and the Seahawks went to the AFC West. Saints have never been in the AFC West. NFC West, okay. Yeah, they were in the NFC West, that's true. And yeah, the Braves used to be in the NL West. You know why they changed it? Because they kept winning. And he made them go. They were, and it was stupid to have them in the NL West. It was dumb. And they thank God they redistributed teams to make them a little bit more. Yeah, the Seahawks were in the West, not the same. NFC West has it right. Why don't we? Okay, well, nice slap shot. A lot of heat, no net. NFC West has okay. The NFC West has the Niners, the Seahawks, the Cardinals. I'm missing a team. Arizona, Seattle, San Francisco. Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. Seattle, San Francisco, Arizona. Oh, the Rams. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, that makes sense. So they need to redistribute the teams. I agree. The Rams. You know why I forgot about the Rams, even though that they were the Super Bowl champions last year? Because they were so dismal this year. Who am I forgetting? But the AFC West should have, okay, go by team, Raiders make sense. The Broncos make sense. The Chargers make sense. But I mean, technically, it could be that is Houston farther west than Kansas City? I have to look on that. They're on the West Coast because we beyond the Chargers are east. Yeah, whatever. But anyway, now that it's baseball season, as you can tell by my hat, and if you don't like that hat, I can always wear this one. Although I do like the old. This is the logo when I was growing up. This was the Phillies logo. Or there you go. And just in case, I can. There's that. I'll probably wear that. But I also did. But this is the old logo. And it's also the spring training logo or spring training hat. I had all my Phillies hats. Getting them ready because I can't wait to see. Oh yes, Houston is west of Kansas City, so there you go. And then the Texans should be in the AFC West, and Kansas City should be in the AFC South, right? Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. Are we going to see it? I don't know. Probably not. Because of and I'll tell you why. It's because of the historic rivalry. I mean, when they moved remember the Cardinals used to be in the NFC East as well. Because it was the St. Louis Cardinals, it was the Cardinals, and it was the Eagles, and it was the Redskins, and the Cowboys, right? And the Giants. They had 5 teams in the NFC East. They moved the Cardinals. They moved the Cardinals out. They were in the NFC East. You didn't realize that the Phillies changed it? Yeah, this is the logo from the 70s, man. 70s and 80s. I love this logo. Big deal. I'll move them into the Steelers division. Whatever. But you need to redistrict. You need to move things around. I agree. But we'll see. But I'm ready for baseball. Oh, pardon me. I'm also ready for bed. I'm ready for baseball. I can't wait. There's still some hockey to be played. I'd like to see if the Flyers can make the playoffs. That's always a question. But the Phillies, like I said, the Phillies were a year early going to the World Series. They were a year early. And then you lose to Houston. Geographically, where do you see them? Well, like I said, if you do a swap with Houston, then it would be the AFC South. But then you also have to see, because remember, it's Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and who's the fourth team there? Got to look at things. KC should be in the Central. Well, when they don't have Central, but they have North and South. So it'd be in the South. Gee, Mike, you're showing your age, where we used to have East, Central, and West. Gee, Mike's showing his age. But I don't know. We got about 10 minutes left. Okay. Here's the thing. Other than figuring out who the quarterback's going to be, because that's going to be the big news. Who's going to be the quarterback? That's the big Raider news. Who's going to be the quarterback? Then it's going to be, who do we pick up in free agency? And then it's going to be, who do we draft? Now, I'm gonna bring my buddy Doc Cabral in here. So I got about. I'm gonna give him about 5 minutes. Doc, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
Good evening, Jay. How are you, my brother?
Good. I'm good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm just relaxing a little bit, taking a break. How about you, man? What's going on with the Phillies?
Well, I'm gonna get it. I'm going to go see him. Not this Tuesday coming up, but I think the 28th, February 28th.
Are they doing Florida?
Yeah, I'm going to go to Springfield. I'm going to go to 3 Phillies games.
Oh, right on.
2 of them are in Clearwater. One of them's going to be in Dunedin. All the games are the Phillies versus the Blue Jays, because those are the only tickets they had available. I looked on the Phillies site because they were the National League champions. All the games were sold out.
Wow.
The only ones that were available were the Blue Jay games. And like I said, so I picked up the 2 Blue Jay games in Clearwater. Now I went I was on the Philly podcast last night on YouTube, and my buddy says, "Hey, I'm coming down for the Phillies Blue Jays game." I'm like, "Well, I was going to." He goes, "No, it's one in Dunedin." So I looked. So they had tickets to that one. So I ended up getting tickets to that. For 2 tickets, it cost me $78.
That's not bad.
Nothing, right?
That's not bad.
So, and for the Phillies games, it was like 105 with parking.
Jay, it's still not bad.
No, still not bad. So and that's what I said. 2 of them are on the weekend. The one game on the 28th is when I got to work extra hours at work to make up for the time that I'm away.
Oh, okay.
Which isn't too bad. But because I have an appointment that day. So yeah, I have an appointment. And if they make me take vacation, I'll be like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I will, but don't be a-holes about it.
Oh, come on. Well, I'll make you laugh. You were right about Bill O'Brien. I'm glad he's back, to be honest with you. Bill is a good he's a good quarterback coach, and he's also a great offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He's very, very bright. I like him, and he was really good with Alabama. Of course, he coached Mac to the national championship. He's good at what he does. I like what he does, and he's a really good coach. He helped Tom Brady a bit too. So
I don't know about that. I mean, I'll take your word for it.
Cheeseburger Charlie did the most of the work the first 3 Super Bowls, but
Charlie Weiss.
Yeah, Charlie Weiss did the first 3 Super Bowls they won. But I mean, you can't go back and get Charlie Weiss, and he's still getting paid by Notre Dame for the next 1,000 years, I think. So
yeah, well, so is Bobby Bonilla too.
Really,
Bobby Bonilla is still getting paid by the Mets.
Oh,
for like the next, I think it was like a 30-year contract or something ridiculous like that. But yeah, every year he gets paid.
Oh God.
Hey Ruben, I got to do this. Ruben, please pay your debt to Ed Winchell.
Hi, Ed.
No, that's Ruben. That's Ruben.
I'm sorry.
CRF16. Ruben, just please pay your debt to Ed Winchell. It was $50. Car's gone. Okay? It's now official. He's been cut. He's no longer on the Raiders. Please pay your debt. That's all I'm saying. But so what now, Doc? Now you're a Sox fan.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm so pissed off, but it's okay.
Okay.
Hopefully this year they'll be a little better. Are they going to be playing Lakeland this year, or are they? They're not Winter Haven anymore. Do they play Lakeland? What do they play now?
No, Lakeland is the Tigers.
Really?
Yeah, the Lakeland is the Tigers. The Sox play. Let me see. Let's see if I can get that quickly because I only got a couple minutes.
I'm sorry.
You know what? You just came in late. That's fine. Red Sox spring training. Okay. They play. Come on. Where do the Red Sox have spring training? That's exactly what I'm asking.
Yeah, they were in Winter Haven.
Fort Myers.
Really? Fort Myers?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go down there, man. Shit.
So, yeah, Fort Myers.
Well, I hope you have a good night. I didn't mean to hold you up. Please give Lil and the family a hello for me, please.
I will.
Have a great weekend, and be careful out there, okay?
And tell your wife she can come on anytime because she's the Raiders fan. Just like was it Darren's wife is a Raiders fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Darren's wife. You know, Darren, the Chiefs fan. His wife is a Raiders fan. Your wife is a Raiders fan. So come on into the show anytime. She can come in anytime too.
Could you do the with the ladies or no?
Well, yeah, when they do the show with the ladies, but that's on hiatus until next year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we did the last show for a while, but yeah, she's allowed to come in anytime.
Okay, I'll let her know.
Okay.
Hopefully she'll be feeling a little better. We'll get her on the show for you.
Do that, and Lil wasn't feeling good, so
sorry.
Yeah.
So how are Jenny and Robbie doing?
Robert is okay. Jenny is okay. I mean, nothing major. So yeah, they're doing good.
They're not in Florida anymore, are they?
No, Robert's still over in Melbourne, and Jenny's still over in San Diego.
Oh, okay. Ooh, damn. She's married to somebody rich. God bless, man. She's not married?
He ain't rich.
Oh, okay.
They're just they're living in El Cajon, and they're just scraping nickels, man.
Oh, sorry. Well, do me a favor. Wish them all well. Tell them I said hello.
I will.
Please be careful out there, Jay.
I will.
And by the way, they are going to reopen. They are going to build the base in the Philippines on Green Beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, the Corps of Engineers is already over there doing surveys, and so is the. They're gonna probably have DynCorp doing part of the job. So.
Well, then I might have to go make a visit.
I got friends over there that go back and forth to Texas, and they go there too. He was with me in Hawaii and in 3-3 in Okinawa. So
Okay.
their daughter was in the Army. She was in Fort Gordon for training while I was there. So,
Okay.
well, I wish you well, my brother. Take care.
You well, Doc. You take care. Best de esposa también.
All right. See.
Take care.
Good night. Magandang gabi.
Magandang whatever.
Yeah, that one too.
Yeah. Take care, brother. All right, folks. We're out of here. We will have a show on Sunday. It's my regular Sunday show. Thanks, Doc, for coming in. We're going to talk baseball. We'll talk basketball. We'll talk off-season football. We're talking sports. You don't know jack about sports until you catch the show. Thank you for being here. Remember, get your memberships into the show, and every time you drop $5 on a tip, you get an entry into the wheel of prizes. So we'll see you Sunday. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.